Hello, it is me, Mr. Avant, and I have a little message for you before we start the weekend and the weekend before we start school. I was very happy to see some of you come out for your Chromebooks today. Today's Friday, and a little disappointed that I didn't see you when I was working so hard on making videos for the last 4 weeks for you guys to keep learning your Module 5. And if you remember correctly, in March, we were on a race to learn fractions, to learn decimals, and to prepare for our LEAP test. And you guys really lost out because a lot of you didn't work at all. A lot of you don't understand fractions. A lot of you would fail your math LEAP test if you were to take it today. And so all those things that help people become productive at school, it has set you back, and you're going to have to change your habits in order to get back on track. Well, that's why I'm here. That's why all the teachers are here, to get on a video camera, whatever the emergency is, to make sure that we can provide you some sort of education. So what I would like to talk to you about tonight is our schedule for next week and what your classroom is going to look like. Now, I can talk about how my classroom is going to look, but for Miss Chris and for Miss Van Buren and for Miss Moore, it might look a little different. I'm going to rely heavily on the app Kami for turning in module work, and I'm also going to rely on making videos that you can watch even if you didn't catch the live lesson. And I'm definitely going to have live lessons standing up in front of the board, and then also doing some module work with you while you do it on Kami on your Google Classroom. We'll talk about all that. Tuesday when we start, it's going to be me and Miss Chris who are teaching. So before we get to the schedule, let's look at this back here. It says first week of school, long distance from the camera, and that doesn't have to be you. It's, representation of something. But let me explain that yes, I am doing a live video from my home. This is my home. This is my office. And yes, I'm not at school. So, very unusual situation. Never thought this would happen in my life. No one in the world has ever experienced anything like this, probably in the history of the country. Whenever we have a pandemic, we deal with it, we move on. We've decided to live in fear and to stop our economy and to stop school and be extremely cautious. Maybe there was a good reason, maybe there wasn't. It's hard to say right now. But it's going to take a while before things get back to normal, and normal is going to be different than it used to be. That's all there is to it. We're going to be extra careful. People are going to be scared of germs. People are going to keep their distance more, and you're going to see more people wearing masks, which is kind of like Asia. So maybe we'll bow a lot, or just do virtual hugs like this, distance hugs, whatever it takes. We're sure all going to get back together. So what I'd like to go over is some rules. And you remember in the classroom on the wall there was always do's and don'ts. We like to give positive things that you're supposed to do. These are our classroom rules, so to speak, and a little bit of procedure. So first of all, I want to say that we need to be prepared. What do you need for distance learning? Well, for math and probably your other subjects, it wouldn't hurt to have some notebooks to write in. And you definitely want a pencil. You want a pen. It wouldn't hurt to have a red pen and a highlighter, just like your normal supplies in the school year. So being prepared also means digitally be prepared. So you have your Chromebooks, if you're watching this right now, or you're working from your own computer. And when I say be prepared digitally, I also mean to be prepared on your screen as well. I'm going to, when I edit this video, I'm going to show some of that. I'm going to show you some, what I would consider being prepared as far as You should have 2 or 3 tabs open. You should have your Google Classroom open. You should have Google Meet open if we're doing Google Meet Classroom. And you're also going to have a document open to work on digitally while I do some work on the board. So technically 3 tabs should be open. Like I said, you need paper, pencil, pen, notebook, whatever it takes to do that. Highlighter wouldn't hurt either. And also be comfortable. Don't come to class in front of your computer. Of course, you don't have to video yourself. We don't have to see you, but you shouldn't be leaving your chair. You should go to the bathroom before we start. You shouldn't be eating your breakfast or your lunch at that time. You should be doing nothing but listening to me and following directions. We're only going to be at 20 minutes at a time together. We try to give you a few minutes in between video lessons, and that should be short enough period of time for you to focus on your teachers. Okay, so that brings us back to the next point I want to make. Be presentable. So if you are on video, dress nice. Don't wear pajamas. Don't be inappropriate. I'm going to dress nice for you guys like I would at school, professionally, and we expect the same for you. Remember, these are being recorded. This is going to be documented. This is going to the district. They are going to have access to our live classroom. So we are going to be held accountable for the way that we act. You should be in a quiet space. You shouldn't have a lot of interruptions. You shouldn't have a TV going or a radio going or music in the background. You shouldn't have brothers and sisters hanging all over you. If they are in the same room, they should be quiet. So you definitely want to have a quiet space to do your classroom in. And that follows with no distractions. Nothing to interrupt your concentration on listening to the lesson. So we did be presentable, be on time. So whenever you know that your scheduled time is coming up to watch class, you need to be ready 10 to 5 minutes beforehand and wait for a link from your teacher to start class. As soon as you see a link from your teacher in the assignment in the Google Classroom, you click on it and then you join the meeting as fast as you can. We want to be together before time starts, at least a minute or two before, so we can all get in. We've been experiencing these new video meetings in classes with the district as teachers, and sometimes it can take up to 30 minutes to get everyone together. It's ridiculous. But if we're doing a class, you want to be prompt, you want to be on time. We're going to give you a few minutes in between classes. You're going to have 2 per day for 4 days a week, and you want to be ready for the next class. So we're going to try to give you 5 minutes in between so you can start on the 30-minute mark. So if you start at the top of the hour for one class, you want to be ready for the 30-minute mark at the bottom of the hour. And then the last point I want to make, or the last procedure or rule, is be respectful. You want to stay muted. If everyone is unmuted, then we get a lot of feedback from the microphone. It causes a lot of disruptions, just like in the classroom. So you want to be respectful, and you want to keep muted. And if you have a question or something like that, I'm going to look at the comments. I have my computer right here beside me, so I can look at it and I can tell if someone posts a comment. I'll have the volume up just a little bit so I can hear. And if I have time, I will stop and answer a question. And sometimes I'll unmute you and let you ask a question. We're also going to have office hours, so a lot of times I want you to hold your questions. If you want me to work one-on-one with you, we can meet. We can even do a small group too, maybe 2 or 3 of you at a time, and I can work with you on some problems one-on-one. I'm willing to do that for you. Next thing I want to talk about. Okay, let's wrap this up. I've already spent a lot of time on our rules and procedures, and I didn't want to make this a long video, but I think it's necessary so You guys know what's coming. Hopefully Miss T or Miss Edwards are going to put out an announcement with your schedule, so everyone should know when every grade level has a class next week or during a normal school week now with this long distance learning. We plan 4 days of live lessons from Monday through Thursday. Friday, teachers have a lot of meetings, but you'll also see some classwork from each class. I'm going to put out a small test every Friday that you have the weekend to complete, and other classes may have just basically wrap up all your classwork. But this is our main schedule. I'm going to make a copy for you in our Google Classroom folder, and I'm going to push it to each class. And remember, hopefully Miss T and Miss Edwards will also be giving you a text or a voicemail to your parents telling them when you have class. But here's how it works. Monday, April 27th is when we start. Moore is at 10 o'clock, social studies. Van Buren is science from 10:30 to 11. So remember, these classes have to stay at about 20 minutes. You need to be in Google Classroom. Well, first of all, always check every Google Classroom. Every week, every day, you check math, social studies, ELA, and science. What do I have to do? What is coming? What work do I have? Every day you need to check your Google Classrooms. If you want to check your social studies work, check Miss Moore. If you need to talk to me or one of the other teachers, you use their classroom. Use your long distance Google Classroom for live lessons and your latest work. The old classrooms are going to be there. We want to have that work there for you as well. Those of you who are new, I made a ton of videos for you guys that you can go back and look at and do your Module 5 book with. We're going to do a little review in fractions, and then we're going to move on to decimals, to new material. Next week is going to be spiral skills, things that you've already learned and you need to refresh yourself with. So every day you check your Google Classroom, and then you want to get in your Google Classroom ready for a live lesson at 9:45 every day. Oh, and by the way, all our live lessons start Monday through Thursday. 5th grade is from 9 to 10 o'clock, and from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock is 3rd grade. From 1 o'clock, I'm sorry, from 12 to 1 is 2nd grade. Okay, and I think from 1 to 2 is 1st grade, and then 3 to 4 is going to be kindergarten. I think that's how it works. You're going to be getting a schedule. Just remember, your schedule for 4th grade is from 10 to 11 o'clock. So you check your Google Classroom at 9:45. You get ready to be online before 10 o'clock. At maybe 5 minutes before 10, Miss Moore is going to shoot out an assignment with a link. That link will take you to the classroom. Once you click on that link and you join the classroom, then our rules and procedures for our classrooms begin. Remember from the first part of the video. At 10:20, Miss Moore is supposed to wrap things up, and you have 5 minutes to go to the bathroom and get ready for the next class. You need to be prepared before 10:30 to be back on Google Classroom, ready to click the next link in Miss Van Buren's Google Classroom to go to science. And then she stops at 10:20, and hopefully we stop at 11. And then on Tuesday and Thursday, you need to be on your Google Classroom 10 to 15 minutes before 10 o'clock. I stop around 9:20. Then you join Miss Chris's class in her Google Classroom. After you click the link and join her meeting, she ends at around 11 o'clock. And then we repeat that for Wednesday and Thursday. Okay? I want to be clear. I want you to remember, you've got to be in that Google Classroom to see the link that you need to take you to your live lesson. And the live lesson, you're going to be doing some guided work. You're going to be listening to the instructors. It's only 20 minutes. 20 minutes goes by like real fast. So you're going to have to listen. You're going to have to be prepared for it. We're going to try to make it fun. It's going to be good to see your teachers again. It's going to be good to know that other students are there with you. So Monday and Tuesday are going to be like more of a hello. Let's get used to this thing. There will be some work posted on your Google Classroom. Then when we get to Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to get a little bit more serious. Friday is a short little quiz in my class. You'll have to look at your other classes. And then starting on I think it's May the 4th, then we're really going to get serious about doing some new material in decimals. Okay? Okay. All right. I don't think I have anything else. I'm trying to answer as many questions as I can, so I don't have to answer questions all weekend. I want to be available to you guys as the head of 4th grade. I'm considered the chair of 4th grade, and so it's my job to make sure that all the teachers in 4th grade have all the information they need, and that I can address your questions, and I can also give you information from Miss Edwards and Miss T. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'm very excited about next week. I hope you are too. Toodles!